St. Thomas Aquinas Commentary on the Creed, Article 1, following errors. There are three errors concerning this truth which we must avoid. First, the error of the Manichaeans, who say that all visible created things are from the devil, and only the invisible creation is to be attributed to God. The cause of this error is that they hold that God is the highest good, which is true, but they also assert that whatsoever comes from good is itself good. Thus, not distinguishing what is evil and what is good, they believed that whatever is partly evil is essentially evil. As for instance, fire, because it burns, is essentially evil, and so is water because it causes suffocation, and so with other things. Because no sensible thing is essentially good, but mixed with evil and defective, they believed that all visible things are not made by God, who is good, but by the evil one. Against them, St. Augustine gives this illustration. A certain man entered the shop of a carpenter and found tools which, if he should fall against them, would seriously wound him. Now, if he would consider the carpenter a bad workman, because he made and used such tools, it would be stupid of him indeed. In the same way, it is absurd to say that created things are evil because they may be harmful. For what is harmful to no one may be useful to another. This error is contrary to the faith of the Church, and against it we say, of all things visible and invisible. Nicene Creed. In the beginning God created heaven and earth. Genesis 1:1. All things were made by him. John chapter 1 verse 3. The second error is of those who hold the world has existed from eternity. Since the time that the Father slept, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 4. They are led to this view because they do not know how to imagine the beginning of the world. They are, says Rabbi Moses, in like case to a boy who immediately upon his birth was placed upon an island and remained ignorant of the manner of childbearing and of infant's birth. Thus, when he grew up, if one should explain all these things to him, he would not believe how a man could once have been in his mother's womb. So also those who consider the world as it is now do not believe that it had a beginning. This is also contrary to the faith of the Church, and hence we say, the Maker of heaven and earth. For if they were made, they did not exist forever. He spoke, and they were made. Psalm 148, verse 5. The third is the error which holds that God made the world from pre-existing matter, ex praejacenti materia in Latin. They are led to this view because they wish to measure divine power according to human power. And since man can't make anything except from material, which already lies at hand, so also it must be with God. But this is false. Man needs matter to make anything, because he is a builder of particular things and must bring form out of definite material. He merely determines the form of his work and can be only the cause of the form that he builds. God, however, is the universal cause of all things, and he not only creates the form, but also the matter. Hence, he makes out of nothing, and thus it is said in the Creed, the creator of heaven and earth. We must see in this the difference between making and creating. To create is to make something out of nothing, and if everything were destroyed, he could again make all things. He thus makes the blind to see, raises up the dead, and works other miracles similar. Your power is at hand when you will. Wisdom chapter 12, verse 18.